can you get the most out of your time in the gym when you are starting out, hopefully avoid injury and gain confidence quickly? Whether you're brand new to the weight section or have some experience but are just beginning to take weight training seriously, these tips, if anything, will give you something to focus on outside of how awkward you may feel in the gym. I'm Annie Miller, Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist, and I help you learn as you train and enjoy your lifts again without having to figure it out for yourself. That is very fitting for today's video, where I hope to give you 5 very applicable and attainable tips to focus on or consider if you're newer to the strength training and weightlifting world. We love it here, and I hope that you will too. You are obviously drawn to weightlifting for some reason, which I would love to know. I grew up around weights, but was officially introduced to them in middle school through no other movement pattern than the bench press. So go ahead and let me know in the comments below what has drawn you to strength training, resistance training, or using weights in some capacity, whatever you want to categorize it as. On that note, today's tips are for someone who is using weights for strength or hypertrophy training. You're lifting weights to gain muscle or be able to lift more weight. Which brings me to tip number 1. Follow a structured program. If you want to get the most out of your time in the gym from day 1, that will undoubtedly come through following a progressive program. That simply means that you're completing the same exercises week to week for 4 to 6 weeks, and then the program changes slightly to add new challenges to your training. First off is a consistent exposure to and practice of the same movements. Second is an opportunity to add more load or volume or range of motion to those movements. Number 3 is a way for you to track, see, and feel progress in the gym. There are more programs available than ever before. You could download a free program or use a low-cost like $9 app, or pay to be a part of a program like Built by Annie, or hire a one-on-one coach who is programming for you individually. Regardless of your budget and approach, the program should include the following. Number 1 is a solid warm-up. If the program has you walking into the gym and starting your workout with no warm-up, run. Literally get on the treadmill and start running. You need a warm up. There should be some kind of transition from daily life into your lifts for the day. Maybe some cardio, dynamic stretching, and lighter work before getting into your strength work. The next thing is focus on simplicity. There is no one size fits all for how many exercises the program should include, but if you're overwhelmed by the amount of exercises you're doing each day, then know that there are programs out there that are doing less and likely providing your desired results. Truly, there's probably no need to be doing 8 to 10 exercises every day. The next thing is long-term, preferably, not jumping from program to program. I suppose one could argue that there is value in getting exposure to many different types of programs in the early days, and I'm not fully against that, but I'd like to see a newbie follow a program for at least 16 weeks before jumping into the next one. This gives enough time to see how you adapt to and enjoy the style of programming that you're currently following, because personal preference will absolutely be a thing as you gain more experience in the gym. Your body will take to some methods over others. You may find you adapt very well to certain exercises or combinations of exercises, but give it time, 16 weeks per program if you can swing it. Number 2 is to work on form and tempo. Whether you follow a program that biases capacity or strength, capacity being more high rep, strength being more low rep, heavier loads, I encourage you to focus on using and building quality movement patterns and controlled tempo. This tip is mitigating 2 common mistakes that can lead to lifting injuries: using shitty form and either going through the motions willy-nilly or using too much momentum in movements and not enough control. These issues leave more room for error. Again, using bad form or momentum doesn't inherently lead to injury, but may increase your chances. So ideally, your program includes tempo and movement demos or coaching cues of some kind, but if not, then you can always focus on these things by yourself. I have a low tier offer called the Big Lift Audit for help in videoing yourself and making needed corrections, or you can check out Movement 101 as well if you need a full overhaul on all movements. Both are accessible in the description below. Some bonus gains you can make by implementing this tip are better muscle fiber recruitment, better movement patterns and proficiency over time, more time under tension due to moving slower through the movement, To be clear, we don't need to move slow motion, but with control. As a rule of thumb, slower down than up is a good cue to think about when looking at your tempo. 3 is don't be afraid to put on size and muscle. Maybe this is why you're training, which is great. I love that for you. But if you're training to get toned or get smaller in your physique, just know that that may not be the case, not right away anyhow. I simply don't want you to be surprised if in your quest for strength or more muscle, you put on size. Maybe clothes start to fit a little bit tighter through your lats or shoulders or quads or butt. These are common experiences that women have when they begin lifting weights, and this is not bad. You are building muscle. Expect your body shape to change or feel a little bit different. I truly encourage you to focus on performance, skill building, and consistency, and allow your body to take on whatever shape it does. And know that we're working with muscle. You can always change that. I have absolutely worked with clients in the past who put on size really easily through their lats maybe, and they don't love the feeling of having wide lats. So we purposely atrophied that area by not targeting that area for growth, but doing enough work to maintain function and strength. No shame in that approach. Though I don't sell or focus on physique, this is one of the things that drew me to weightlifting and muscles in the first place. Muscles provide and change the shape of your body. I am very much so built like a ruler. Any shape that I've added to my body has come through strength training and building muscle. And also growing children. We'll leave that there for now. Just know your body may change, and I hope you're able to mostly celebrate those changes because they've come from the hard work that you have put in. Number 4 is keep weight conservative and push yourself. One of the most popular newbie questions I get is how much weight do I use? Be sure to check out my video on that exact topic. I give you 3 ways to go about selecting your weights if you're new to weightlifting. And in the meantime, know that it will take trial and error to learn your ranges. For instance, when you see 8 reps or 12 reps on a given exercise, you'll know where to start the more experience you gain, but expect some bumps in that process. A good rule of thumb is to focus on finding your weight for working sets. AKA, if you see 3x8 lat pull down, know that it might take 2 sets of you trying some different loads to determine what an appropriate weight is going to be for those 3 sets of 8. Yes, that means if you perform a set of 5 and it's way too heavy, or a set of 8, but you could have done 5 more reps, then these are warm-up sets and you can adjust weight as needed for your 3x8 of working sets. Say to yourself, start conservative and build to my working sets, but those working sets need to be challenging if you're in the quest for strength or muscle gains. As a little bonus here, you may experience what are referred to as newbie gains. No matter what training you do, if you have never exposed your body to those movements, loads, or stressors, you'll make adaptations very quickly. That will fade as you train more consistently, so don't expect PRs weekly or even monthly. If the weight isn't always increasing, you're not failing or plateauing, I promise. Number 5 is to accept the lack of confidence in following a program, in trying new exercises. On the flip side of that, for my overcompensators, leave your ego at the door. Either way, accept being a newbie. There are so many gains to be had, give it time. You're exposed to many new things when you begin weightlifting. It's not just the environment or the weights themselves. There's a language, there's a tempo, sets, reps, timing, rest periods, learning your rate of perceived exertion, what failure really feels like, so much. Then add in learning the actual movement patterns and becoming acquainted with pieces of equipment. It can be a lot, so take your time and be consistent. You gain confidence with every rep, and those reps begin to add up. You'll see that you can do hard things and new things and maybe even enjoy the process. Also, for those with gym intimidation who think everyone is staring at you and judging you, they're not. They're either so focused on themselves that they can't be bothered with you, or maybe they are judging, and who cares? Let them judge. You're only getting better, and everybody had a day 1 in the gym. I was a show-off know-it-all when I started my weightlifting journey. Granted, I was also in high school and strong for my size at the time, which didn't help my ego situation. Don't be me. That's why I share these tips. You belong in the weight section, and I am stoked that you are on this quest for strength or muscle. Both will be rewarding and likely become a vital part of your life. Let me know if this video was helpful in the comments below and tell them that Annie sent you. That felt like such a welcoming video to the gym.
Very nice.